request Mr. Sajeev Nair, Chief Technology Officer, Connect Digital, to kindly present on Total Experience Transformation through Digital Automation for NBFCs. Talking about Sajeev Nair, currently CTO of Digital IT Services at Connect Business Solutions, has 26 plus years of niche expertise in architecting and implementing enterprise class IT solutions in digital transformation, integration, and cognitive automation projects. He was a serving member of NASSCOM SIG on engineering automation and ex-COD of NIIT Incessant Private Limited, a part of serving in senior roles in Emphasis Limited, Mindtree and Happiest Minds Technologies. His current role and responsibilities include technology, direction for Connect Digital, and P&L ownership of digital engineering and automation portfolio of offerings. May I request you, sir, to kindly be ready for the presentation.
Good afternoon, everyone. Hope I am audible. Throughout the day, thanks for being a wonderful interactive audience. Coming from the core IT services side, in fact, myself, my team, and many other guys like us, corely focusing on IT, we could get a lot of insights in terms of the technology advancements from the sheer user's perspective, the kind of challenges NBFCs are facing, so on and so forth. Thanks a lot for all those thought providing and giving some sort of fuel for our future innovation kind of sessions. Thanks a lot. As I have been introduced, Sajeev Nair, this is my 27th year in the IT industry, having worked in most of the Tier 1 IT services organization like Wipro Technologies, IBM Global Services, Emphasis Limited, Mindtree Limited, Happiest Mind Technologies, and since last 1 year, I have joined Connect Digital. It's an S2L Tata company called Tata BSS, Tata Business Solutions Support Limited. It's a fully owned subsidiary. Last year, January, it has been taken over by another 1.5 billion conglomerate, Quest Corp Limited, and being rechristened as Connect Business Solutions Limited. And Connect Digital is the IT services division of it. We have a huge, close to 40,000 people business process outsourcing unit as well. That's part of our Connect Business Solutions Limited. And Connect Digital, myself and my team who are participating here today, part of the end-to-end IT services division called Connect Digital. We have differentiated ourselves as a 360-degree digital transformation provider. When you talk about digital transformation, multiple phases, to be precise, 3 pillars: customer experience, customer engagement, operational efficiency. The all kind of technology landscapes, product scenarios where many of the pain points today, other leaders were talking about and solutions they were envisaging. All those technology wherewithal in terms of implementing that, we provide. With this backdrop, let me just get into my session of today. Total experience transformation. Many of us, who keenly follows analysts will be thinking, oh, again, another jargon. What is total experience transformation? In fact, since I think last 6 or 7 quarters, Gartner coined this particular term, total experience transformation. So we talk about customer experience, digital transformation. Total experience is a term Gartner coined for taking care of customer-facing, especially B2C applications where customer experience is predominant. Customer experience plus employee experience. Employee experience in the sense, the customers has to be served properly, employees should be empowered. With examples I'll talk about. For example, NBFC or a banking scenario, the first time a customer interacts with a customer relationship manager or a branch assistant or whoever, that interaction has to be worthwhile in terms of making some sort of an upsell, cross-sell, or making an at most satisfactory customer interaction, etc. For that, we have to make employees empowered. So customer experience plus employee experience plus multi-experience. It's omni-channel experience. It's nothing new. So CX plus EX plus MX plus UX, user experience. So we are talking about design thinking era. From user's perspective, every end-to-end business process has to be thought about, as well as we have to design in such a way that with minimum steps, enterprise services should be reachable to customer. So total experience is a term coined by Gartner for CX plus EX plus MX, multi-experience plus user experience, nothing new. So in NBFC scenario, how we'll cater for that? In the next 10 minutes, what I'll be doing, the market challenges from an IT services practitioner's point of view, that's all. Okay, I will just try to cover the typical digital transformation roadmap which we suggest for our customers and some of the initiatives we have done for our customers. Then the technology enablers, what are the things we have, technologies we have, so that can be accomplished. And of course, maybe 2 seconds about my organization in terms of our capabilities. That will be the agenda. Here all domain experts, leaders are sitting over here. Purely from an IT services perspective in terms of the solutions, the point solutions, solution accelerators, many of our NBFC customers are asking us from that perspective, the kind of challenges, what they are facing and for which they are trying to reach us out in terms of mapping some solutions. I could recollect a few points is asset quality deterioration, rising NPS basically. As banks, after a lot of bad experience become very strict on the kind of sample space or user base for which all these lending services has to be provided. Of course, NBFCs time and again have to dilute in terms of getting into their sample space or their prospective customers. So proportionately, the NPAs also is being rising. So for that, what sort of due diligence we can do, some sort of delinquency measures we can do so as to reduce that. It's a common challenge, and many a times we interact with our customers, they also comes with that, and for that many solutions, whether it is an automation solution or data analytics, data lake-based solutions which we do, some sort of a cohort analysis in terms of sample space or a particular product, which set of customer space is being looked at. All those kind of factors comes under that. Rising customer expectations. In fact, nowadays customers, with the first interaction itself, with the minimal, maybe digital interactions, they have to reach out to a satisfactory, some sort of an interaction, which will culminate in a positive result. So customer expectations are getting sky high, especially post-pandemic. So our digital solution also to be up to the task. Shifting product needs, etc. The rising fintechs we are talking about. See, nowadays, you people can count on the number of fintechs who has already been applying for the NBFC licenses also. So maybe next year summit it can be an NBFC plus fintech kind of this thing. So you have to bring fintech also into a peaceful coexistence kind of a scenario. All these needs. So these are some of the challenges we are facing. So here nothing new. See, today based on many of our speakers, based on their core area of focus, some of our colleagues from collections projects, they have equated NBFCs with it's a collection organization, etc. So I have not ventured into that because we are an end-to-end IT services provider. Minimal imperatives for a core lending system should be there. See, the way we will be creating them should be modular because the kind of customer requirements keep on changing. Some sort of smart lending aspects comes into picture. One point in time, a customer had some sort of an interaction for lending purpose. Based on that particular customer journey, you have to map that particular customer journey properly so that in the few next interactions, whether upsell, cross-sell, or culminating into a successful lending end-to-end operation, all those kind of scenario you have to do, add use cases, extending your customer journeys, etc., your architecture, the technology architecture, by which your lending platform we have created should be in some sort of a modular architectural scenario. Then smart lending. See, AI, ML technologies, wherever needed or not, we keep on talking about. Else, a particular session from anybody, especially a technical person, will be incomplete. That's the perception, industry perception. But in this particular smart lending case, etc., it's of course, it's necessary. Based on the past record in terms of the interactions a customer has for any of your products, if they can really count in terms of the past learnings, some sort of predictive analytics, AI models being put together. In future, the kind of delinquencies or any sort of delays happened or not so positive kind of interactions, a particular business process journey happens in the course of lending. All those things, we can take care or we can do some sort of a predictive learning aspects being infused, taken care in future using some sort of smart learning, lending platforms, etc. Of course, collection management, one of the key aspects. Automating collection management. Products are there, umpteen number of products are there. Today, multiple products, demos we have seen, etc. Many booths are there outside. But using the basic end-to-end automation tool sets, the low-code application platforms, RPA platforms, if you have the end-to-end visibility of the collection management process, of course, with much cheaper alternatives, we can have some sort of a greenfield implementations as well. So these are all the digital imperative we are talking about. Whenever we'll talk to NBFC CIOs, CTOs, etc., how these all can be accomplished. In their roadmap, it's there. Today, one of our esteemed guests talked about a right mode of dealing with IT services organizations plus NBFCs being part of their digital journey. Okay, from CapEx initiatives converting into transaction-based OpEx journeys, etc. To make all these things possible, you need to have a coherent digital strategy, which will help you to have an extensible platform architecture, so that your core lending platform, the need as it arises, it can be extensible kind of a scenario. End-to-end process automation. If you are, see, who is the best custodian of your business processes, whether it is collection or core lending or whatever aspects, your own SMEs. So the business process is there, then it's just a matter of implementing that with any sort of an affordable technology. So there comes the process automation parts. There are so many platforms. Many of our speakers talked about low-code, no-code platforms. I'm leaving that no-code aspect from that because of having a lot of serious customer backlashes in the past with some established products. I will talk only about low-code products. Okay, no-code, let us leave it aside. So process automation comes into picture. Then we talked about data modernization and intelligent decisions comes into picture in terms of even arriving at your sample space of the proper customer base whom you can do lending services, so on and so forth. See, we are talking about customer 360 data hub solutions where your current existing sample space of your existing customer list based on some sort of a cohort analysis or KPIs all together, arriving at the kind of segment where you have to focus on. All these aspects comes into picture. Data modernization, intelligent decisioning aspects comes into picture. The total customer experience transformation I just touched upon, I'm not talking again. Legacy modernization. Of course, imperative, CAO's imperatives that existing all software assets to be protected so that in an OpEx model, the future digital IT initiatives can be done. I started the session with the total experience transformation. So somebody talks about it's nothing but CX plus, EX plus, user experience plus, omni-channel experience. Kind of a scenario for your digital strategy you have to come up with. See, most of the NBFCs, our customers, in fact, we have suggested this particular digitalization roadmap, basically. When we talk about end-to-end digital transformation, all the activities you can divide into 3 pillars: customer experience, customer engagement, operational efficiency. Of course, with minimum steps, how the customer can reach out to your enterprise services, whether it is lending or whatever it is. That is the customer experience we are talking about. All the software solutions, technology platforms which will help you to achieve that comes under customer experience tower. So there, some set of initiatives, what we can do is what right side I talked about. Today, many of our colleagues were talking about super apps. Okay, all the enterprise services, okay, putting in a same portal or a web mobile app, so on and so forth. Super apps talks about a mobile app. Like the first point I'm talking about, a unified portal. All the enterprise services, okay, putting under a single portal so that to have a single access kind of a scenario. Many of our customers have done it, some sort of software platforms. A lot of options are there, I'll discuss that. Omni-channel CX, okay, making all, whether it's through a super app or an omni-channel web portal, so on, so your service should be at the fingertip of customer. Then hybrid mobile apps we are talking about, whether it is Android, iOS, etc., making that application available. Reactive web applications for dynamic responses. Today is an era, all of us would have heard about some very cost-effective open source technologies called full stack application technologies. You would have heard about React.js, Angular.js. It's all rich, it will be able to create cloud-native, rich internet interfaces. Okay? And see, every submission of customer data or whatever data, it should not go into the server side, passing through multiple network calls, etc. These kind of facilities being provided by technologies called full stack technologies, a set of technologies called mean stack, MERN stack, LAMP stack, etc. So using that, we can create all your customer-facing applications as reactive web response applications together. Then hyper-personalization. Every customer thinks that I am the one and only customer that particular NBFC or any other vendor has. So that kind of a personalization is the expectation of the era. So we have to be equal to the task for that. So all these use cases can be satisfied by a set of technologies we called as customer experience technologies. Then comes, see, rich internet user interfaces alone cannot win the hearts of the customers, okay? Especially in the case of NBFCs also. So the customer engagement or the back-end process will be optimal. With minimum steps, customers should be able to access your enterprise services. So for that, we have a set of products are there called dynamic process automation products, irrespective of the technology. Any steps of CLM, client lifecycle management, whether it is targeting and acquiring the customer, the first step, once the customer comes in, customer onboarding, KYC, so on and so forth. Then throughout the life cycle of that particular customer, think of a lending circle. It's a customer services part. Then, of course, the final part is creating and maintaining a loyal customer base. See, these, target cross-sell, upsell, creating a loyal customer base. This is the last part. So there comes analytics technologies, etc. So throughout this life cycle of customer life cycle management, I will say, all these processes, end-to-end processes, there are a set of tools we call it as low-code application platforms with minimal turnaround. One of our esteemed speaker today talked about the basic lending end-to-end workflow, 30 minutes we can make. See, being an implementer, I will say maybe 2 or 3 weeks, the basic end-to-end process flow we'll be able to implement kind of a scenario. Roughly, the thumb rule is 1/3 of the turnaround time of an end-to-end process implementation. Otherwise, we'll use any other technologies using these low-code application platforms where your end-to-end business process can be mapped as simple as some sort of flowcharts. It can get compiled and integrated with the various target system endpoints, etc. We will be able to create dynamic process flows, low-code application platforms. We have expertise in some sort of platforms called OutSystems, Microsoft's Power Apps, Pega, APN. These are all some of the tool sets. Then hybrid integrations to connect on-premise cloud-based applications. See, your business processes based on some sort of a restriction on IT services budgets over a period of years, all your core processes may be lying in multiple heterogeneous applications in the landscape. In that particular scenario, of course, a new process flow end-to-end we have to create, a lot of integration points will be there. How you will integrate your process flow with system of records or the various backend data systems, etc. So there comes hybrid integrations. A lot of technologies tools are there. Today I was just having a discussion with our Chola CIO, DP sir. So they are using WSO2. It's another technology. It's open source technology. MuleSoft, TIBCO. A lot of technologies are there. Hybrid integrations we talk about. Then, of course, creation and the monetization of API economy. See, because fintech ecosystem, your target customer ecosystem, a lot of reusable business processes are available as APIs, and you should be able to create a strategy for efficiently managing, leveraging your API economy kind of a scenario. Then, of course, many a times, fit-for-purpose use cases will be there. For example, in your case, employee experience transformation you are providing. So rather than creating from scratch greenfield implementations, you can go for ServiceNow. It has very, I will say, credit-worthy, credential, best-in-class kind of employee transformation processes, so on and so forth. Of course, many of you are using Salesforce for CRM, using it as a low-code application platform. Today itself, multiple discussions I had with many of our partners, etc. So all these kind of fit-for-purpose use cases. These are all comes under the customer engagement part of it. Of course, now, all the CEOs in the gathering will agree with me. All the CEOs will be wanting to have utmost customer experience, utmost customer engagement with no investments, isn't it? Minimum investments. There comes the operational efficiency part of it. So, creating cloud-native applications, all your ongoing application development lifecycle with agile, DevOps kind of processes, etc., so as to reduce the turnaround time of your implementations. Then cloud apps, cloud security, all those kind of things comes under the operational efficiency part. See, in fact, we have our implementation case studies and experience in all these particular areas. See, then we talked about the roadmap, then what sort of technology can be applicable. I've just mentioned, again, just to bring some sort of mother to the madness, the technical enablers. So irrespective of the process, I just talked about the end-to-end CLM life cycle management, whether it is targeting, acquiring customer, onboarding, throughout the life cycle servicing, and targeting and acquiring a loyal customer base. In all these cases, low-code application platforms, the existing systems of records, how through omni-channel way, we call it as engagement zone, a set of business processes, built in a rapid mode, can achieve that particular fact. This is a low-code application platform, rapid application development. Roughly, confidently, you can showcase one third of the turnaround time. Otherwise, it will take for an end-to-end application implementation, whether it is cloud-native, whether it is web application, whether it is mobile application, using low-code application platforms is possible. So, again, I mentioned about Microsoft Power Apps, OutSystem, multiple platform choices are there. So, what actually by virtue of low-code CIOs are achieving is customer experience transformation. Any use case in your scenario landscape, you just have to look back. It will result in the growth for me for the particular financial year. increase my market share, increase my CSAT, increase my net promoter score, increase my cost of customer acquisition. Cost of customer acquisition. In that case, it's a typical use case for customer experience transformation. Please equate with all your NBFC use cases. Workplace innovation, I told already. Your internal employees should be empowered so that he can take on-the-spot decision in terms of serving the customer properly. Process automation part I talked about. Then application modernization, how the existing software assets or hardware assets will be protected and reusing them to the maximum extent to have the future applications being created. That is a low-code application platform. 50% of the digital imperatives we are talking about, the smart lending platform, modular, extending modular lending architecture, all those kind of things will be addressed by low-code application platform. Then RPA, robotic process automation, at least 2-3 quarters before it was a rage. Now I think it's on the, I will not say it's the slope of enlightenment or trough of disillusionment, I think, as per Gardner. See, the end-to-end collection processes, by virtue of being in operation for umpteen number of years, we know collections initiation onwards, the cycle closure successfully in the positive scenario. We know all the process steps, etc. And a set of very cost-effective tools are there called RPA tools. Then it's another option rather than going for off-the-shelf products, etc. You have domain experts together, years together, they have done that. Have your process map, chart, etc. I just map there using RPA, using UiPath, automation, or any other tool. See, only few process steps. In fact, negotiation and legal actions, there only manual intervention is required. Technology, not much will be of use. They are also in a limited way. And see, predictive analytics for collections. In the first step, the third one, there may be some AI/ML use cases. Okay, machine learning, supervised machine learning, CNN algorithms, etc. can be of use. Otherwise, using any of the cost-effective RPA tools, it can be Microsoft's Power Automate, UiPath of the world, whatever we can use. For at least I have 6-7 implementation case studies in the last 1 year where we have successfully implemented a end-to-end collection automation platform for our enterprise customers. So it's a good enabler. Every one of us are talking today in so many of discussions in terms of importance of data cleansing, not having the significance of not having stale data regarding the customer, choosing the right customer segmentation for upsell, cross-sell, and even the first-time sell, etc. So we are talking about customer data 360. It's nothing but creating a data lake from all your available source systems, lending systems, any input regarding the sample or possible focused customer segment, etc. Create a data lake. It can be an Azure data lake, any other data lake platform. Multiple products we focuses on, Snowflake, Incata, Cloudera, Azure Data Bricks, so many things. So here a basic data lake we are creating. From there, a particular branch manager, example I have put, or a customer relationship manager, what sort of data from that particular data lake you want to just extract in terms of, for example, a recent implementation, not for an NBFC, what we have created, we called as Relationship Manager Workbench. It was for one of the premium India banks, credit card cross-sell, it was the scenario. See, what they were facing is, the relationship manager, first time, or today, he is having an interaction with n number of the customers who is calling and asking for maybe the credit limit extension of the existing credit cards, or maybe extending the limit of a credit card or credit card based loan, some lower percentage or whatever it is. All these kind of requests, when we do, what normally happens, he will thankfully put us on hold. Then he will come back and say, I will get back because this many information, etc. is not there. So what we have created for that particular bank is a customer data 360 data hub. From there, we have created an RM relationship workbench based on a set of KPIs, key performance indicators, okay. Regarding that particular customer, in the past so many number of years, okay, regarding his loyalty, there is something called RFM analysis, recency, frequency, monetary value of his interactions. How recently he have done some major transactions, how frequent his transactions are, and monetary value. How large the kind of the monetary value chunk he is performing, etc. Based on this RFM analysis, we have created a dashboard by which these relationship managers should not, or he don't have to get back into multiple systems, search and give you a concrete answer. Okay, so those kind of scenario, etc. So Customer Data 360 Hub, especially NBFC scenario, avoid all sort of delinquency, pre-delinquency, awareness, etc., creating or arriving at the right set of customer segment for your current projects to be focused on, your future products be focused on, all those kind of implementation. It's a must for all of you. So many cognitive automation use cases. Okay, some of them I just talked about using AAML, faceless, paperless eKYC, end-to-end loan processing using RPA, then addressing the new market segments, potential means existing market segments which have much more potential, which I am not servicing now, or some underserved markets, etc. How we will be able to do using the customer data 360, that dashboard which I just talked earlier. Using an effective API economy, multiple use cases are there. I just touched upon earlier from heterogeneous data sources, how using the predefined software chunks, you will be keep on reusing those particular data segments, etc. Blockchain, I'll say currently it's an overkill, but these few trends we should have put. In fact, I have one of my core experience with blockchain implementation was this background checking of potential candidates for one of the foreign universities, Yale University. Okay, immutable lists. You will be able to put one guy, as soon as he comes out of school or college, his credentials are being put, since his first offer, where and all, his credentials will be put in an immutable data sets in a blockchain. Then all these background checking agencies, because now immutable means once you put it, never it can be deleted. The possibility is not there. Of course, smart contracts, etc. is there, it is possible, but in normal scenarios, etc. In that case, keep on, he will be switching organizations, etc., and this the chunk will be going on like that. Yeah, so already I've got my pre-delinquency warning. Okay, time is getting over. See, some of the total experience solutions. It was a summary slide where whatever points I just talked about to achieve these kind of KRAs, what are the end-to-end software solutions you people will be doing? Many of us, you can already equate. Some initiatives you would have already completed, or some you are in middle of, etc. So, end-to-end providers like us will be able to support that. This is the end-to-end services of ours, customer experience, customer engagement, operational efficiency, all the services of ours we have put, and the product partners we have put. Basically, anytime we will be able to support in terms of any of the things. Some of the case studies, a few of them for the NBFCs I have just mentioned, some of them were award-winning for us. Yeah. That summarizes effectively my session. We have a booth over here. Till maybe 5, 6 we will be available here. Thanks for a patient hearing as well as having good interaction. Thanks a lot. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. And may I request A. Ramesh Kumar, Chairman and MD, Laraksha Impact Finance Enterprise, to kindly climb up the stage and to felicitate Mr. Sajeev Nair, Chief Technology Officer, Connect Digital. Please, sir. Thank you, sir.